Is my chin really this big? Oh, hey there. We're here today for AP Physics 2. We're going to look at the mysterious tape lab and a kind of intro and some background stuff about it that'll help you out as you're going through it. First, what we're going to need for this lab is Scotch Magic Tape. It's just the green stuff, or if you're familiar with it just being kind of clear. On the side, it'll say Magic Tape, or Rubin Magic, or Cinta Magica, depending on what language you speak. But it's the green stuff, okay? But really just Scotch tape will work. When we're doing this lab, you'll have access to a Google Doc sitting in the assignments on Canvas, and you'll just go through it and kind of do what it says and write down what you're observing. If it asks you to make a prediction before you do the thing. That's pretty straightforward, right? There are a few kind of notes regarding the lab, though, that I'd like to just clarify with you now so that whenever you get into it, you have a few less headaches. First, whenever you peel off a little bit of tape, this much, a little bit greater than the width of your palm, that's all you need. You don't need to start stretching out like a mile worth of tape. This is enough tape. You don't want it to be too short, though, or else you won't see the effects, but around here, this is great. It's just, maybe the length of my hand, something around that. Another thing that you want to do is whenever you have a piece of tape, you may want to create a handle on it, which is just folding down one end slightly so that the sticky side is on the sticky side. This will give you a space to grasp so that you can let go of the tape, or whenever you put it on the table, you can peel it off easier. Okay? When the lab asks you to peel the tape off of a surface, there's two ways it's going to ask you to do that. One is vigorously, and one is slowly. Now, whenever you put the tape onto a surface, like a table, you're going to set it there, and you're going to push it down so it rests nice and flat. And whenever you are pulling it off vigorously, you pull it off like a Band-Aid. Just nice and quick like that. This is a vigorous pull, okay? Whenever you pull something off vigorously, or pull it off the table in general, try not to touch it too much. It's nice if you can hang it off the edge of a desk or the edge of a table, or the edge of a chair, so it just kind of hangs there. If you start touching it a lot and playing with it, you're going to ruin the experiment, okay? So don't really do this. Don't let your cat do this. Don't let your dog's tail hit into it. Just pull it off, stick it onto something so it's kind of floating there. If you're asked to pull something off slowly, you'll once again, smooth the tape on it, and then pull it off nice and slow. Okay? Once again, don't go touching the thing too much, or else you're going to ruin the experiment. If you find that you may have expected something to occur and something didn't happen, you may have just touched it too much, try ripping them off and doing the thing again. And if you see it 2 or 3 times in a row where nothing happens or something does happen that you weren't expecting, then yeah, maybe you were wrong. But just be careful about that, okay? One other thing in this lab, as you go down into it and you're typing out your responses here and what you think, at some point you might be asked to create a very rough graph, and I say a very rough graph because I'm not expecting anything amazing here. The way you'll easily create graphs in a Google Doc is if you just hit Insert, Drawing, New. It'll take you into this kind of like drawing table here, and I'm asking for a very rough graph, nothing great. So I'm just going to put scribbles, and a graph has a y-axis and an x-axis, and if you think the graph is linear, then draw me a nice little linear. If you're like, I think it's sinusoidal, oscillating at this position. Okay, there it is. That's a sinusoidal graph. That doesn't look very good, but I asked for a very rough graph. Okay, so there's your graph that you dumped in. Way to go. Maybe beneath it I put like, the x-axis is blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about there. But I'm looking for a very rough graph whenever you do that. So just be aware. Don't spend hours and hours and hours of doing stuff. If it does ask you to draw something else higher up in there, once again, Insert, Drawing, New, and just draw something up, okay? But that's it. That's Mysterious Tape Lab. If you're looking for Scotch tape, you can get it pretty much anywhere. You should be able to get it at a gas station if you need to. Or Walmart, but if you can't, come across this, or you're in a pinch, or you're looking in your wallet randomly and you're like, man, like, I don't have $1.50, just come and talk to me. I've got enough of this stuff sitting around to tape the school shut, so just let me know, okay? But with that, that's the Mysterious Tape Lab. We're going to use what we see in this lab here in our next videos and our next topics to really start talking about electrostatics and what is going on with the tape and how we can actually start talking about charges and get a little bit more in-depth and involved for our E&M unit. So until next time, adios. It's just giant. It's just a giant chin.